TV comedian tops field in Ukraine presidential election, polls say. Kiev, a Ukrainian comedian who plays an accidental president on television, delivered a walloping rebuke to the country's political class in the presidential election Sunday by emerging first in a crowded field of candidates, exit polls indicated. The comedian, Volodymyr Zelensky, 41, captured more than 30% of the vote, according to two authoritative exit polls. It was a strong show. If exit polls translate into votes, Zelensky will face President Petro Poroshenko, who emerged second with around 18%, in a runoff in 3 weeks, on April 21. Yulia V. Official results are not due until Monday. Turnout was estimated. After the polls closed, Zelensky and Poroshenko lost no time in attacking each other. "I want to thank all Ukrainians who voted today, not just for kicks," said Zelensky, taking a dig at Poroshenko for saying the incumbent alone should be taken seriously. "This is only the first." Poroshenko, 53, said that the time for jokes was over and that Zelensky would make just the kind of weak president sought by President Vladimir Putin of Russia, the bogeyman of Ukrainian politics. He dreams of a soft, submissive, gentle, giggling, inexperienced, weak, ideologically amorphous and politically uncertain president, Poroshenko said. "Will we gift him this?" Poroshenko, a chocolate tycoon who is among the richest men in a country dominated by oligarchs, appeared to offer a tacit admission that younger voters had abandoned him in droves. He said he had heard it was a stunning result in an election that will help to determine the future of a country that is now the European front line in a new era of confrontation between Russia and the West. The war, the fact that Ukraine works as a real democracy, albeit a troubled one, is often cited as perhaps the most important aspect of the election. Unlike the Potemkin, in a crowded field of candidates, most of them politicians, Zelensky stood out as the star of a popular television series in which he plays a schoolteacher who is unexpectedly propelled into the presidency after his anti-corruption tirade goes viral. He is doing well because there is a widespread mood in Ukraine of alienation from politicians and the political class, said Robert Brinkley, a former British ambassador to Ukraine who is chairman of the Ukrainian Institute in London, an educational and cultural center. In southern Kiev, Artem Nikiforuk, 26, a computer programmer, emerged from a polling station to say he supported Zelensky. He is the only The basic knock on politics in Ukraine is that ever since the country declared its independence from the Soviet Union in 1991, it has been run by a government of oligarchs for oligarchs. Avenues for the abuse. Ukrainians seem more fed up than ever. A mere 9% that gave rise to Zelensky, who has blurred the lines between his television character and his candidacy. His show, despite his appeal, however, questions hang over Zelensky. Some wonder if the electorate's main concerns are issues like raising wages and unemployment, as well as the war in eastern Ukraine. No candidate has. Poroshenko, 53, has wrapped himself in the flag, campaigning under the slogan Army, Language, Faith. His campaign Anatoly S. Gritsenko, a former defense minister, is fourth in the polls and a possible dark horse candidate given his military background.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.